She's trying to make sure you're not getting some bathwater, all right?
Hold up. No.
Don't choke and die.
He's choking on the bathwater. Like, you see, you know, you see
Oh
that he was
my
holding you
God.
like a Sonic
I
cup,
wouldn't
all
pick
right?
that up.
That's
I'm
one
gonna beat
bathwater.
your I'm gonna beat your
Why did I even
I'm
open my mouth?
I'm gonna bust you in the mouth, nigga. Oh my god. First, Apex Legends on the Switch. I want to get that out the way. So, playing Apex Legends on just the regular Switch, like without being docked or on my TV, it wasn't bad. I mean, I ran into some stuttering issues and stuff like that, and some of the character models were still loading in. But the one thing I did notice, because you have to do the tutorial training, as you were going down, you know how when you slide down the hill and stuff like that?
Yes, I've done that twice already.
The freaking the background's still loading up like a freaking PlayStation 2 game.
No. See, for me, the most annoying thing about the training course is like summoning that thing.
Yeah.
You know, the thing gets summoned at the end. Yeah. For me,
Lifeline's ult. Yeah.
The lifeline. Yeah. Yeah. I hate that part. But if you're saying that we're getting problems before that, oh no! Thank God that PC and PS4 are the only ways I have Apex, because I don't want to do that again on PC.
But other than
on Switch.
Oh my god! Other than that, like, but I got through tutorial. Playing a freaking match sucked because I don't understand why they did this, but motion controls, like when you have your Joy-Cons attached to your Switch and stuff like that, to the tablet, motion control was already on by default on. So when I'm trying to aim at someone, because I'm sitting down like this, the freaking the camera goes down. I'm like, what the frick, dude? So
you know what's funny?
Hold on, let me finish, nigga. Let me finish. Anyways, I died twice. I tried to play 2 rounds of that and I was done. I couldn't do no more before the podcast. So apparently they ran a big update. So I played it, docked it, used a controller. Even though I'm gonna be buying one of those cool third-party controllers, because those are the only ones you can. Those are the pretty good ones. They're just as good as the pro controllers. I played it, and for the most part, it was all right. Here's the one thing, and this is why I say, if you are an owner of Apex Legends on all 4 platforms, don't play on the Switch. I'm in the middle of the game and there's 2 enemies and they're looking at me, and I don't know if maybe they're stuttering, I don't know if there's something with the internet, but I'm looking dead at them and they're rolling around. I'm like, bro, I'm right here. They didn't even take a chance to shoot me, and they shot me when they started to notice, and I started shooting them. I downed 2 dudes in like 2 seconds. I'm like, they're okay. So I don't know if that's an issue with the game. I don't know if there's like a lag in the Switch version, but I was able to down like 2-3 enemies just like that. But it is what it is. Like I said, I'm not a fan of the Switch version. If you are a Nintendo Switch owner only, and this is your only way to play Apex Legends and join the community and stuff like that, and play with other people with cross multiplayer and stuff like that, then by all means get Apex Legends. I'm pretty sure Respawn will continue to patch the game. I know it's not Respawn's fault. It honestly, I think Nintendo should have gave them some more time or gave them some more money to try to give a better ported version. But it is what it is. So if you are a Switch owner, like if you only own a Nintendo Switch, then by default I will say, yeah, grab yourself the Switch version of Apex Legends. It does play, it looks good, but if you are an owner on like a PS4 version, an Xbox version, or a PC version, don't play the Switch version. Just don't. Like, just don't.
You mentioned the motion controls for Apex. because when I got Overwatch for the Switch,
It did the same thing.
same thing.
Oh shit.
Even also like rendering the backgrounds like Eichenwald. Yeah, like that was also an issue. Like it wasn't as bad as you said it was, but it was still pretty bad. And the problem with the motion controls is like yeah, if you're standing still while sniping, yeah, it's easier to like point, click, but the thing is when you're moving around while doing it, it is shaky as hell, and you're better off just like using a regular controller. Like, dude, I have Overwatch for PC. I'd rather play it on PC.
Gotcha.
Like even at 20 frames per second, even at 15 frames per second, I could still play Overwatch on PC better than on the Switch.
No, like no amount of money or time could have fixed the Apex version of Switch. Like there's no like
Switch
that's
version of Apex.
just the hardware inside. It was not meant for Apex. Like straight up.
I mean, it was made for Splatoon and shit, but and Fortnite. I mean, to be fair, Fortnite. Yeah, and to be fair, how it's like they did well with Fortnite, they did well with Rocket League. What the fuck happened? And what the hell happened with Apex?
I don't know how else to say it. It's like it's just not because I really don't. Okay, for one, Splatoon was made with that hardware in mind.
Yeah.
What was the other example you mentioned? Fortnite. I can't get an explanation on that. But like, I'm just serious. Like, it's no amount of money could have like. You see how that game looks on PS4? Like trying to downscale that whole game onto Switch, and we got what we got. It's like this. Like you needed like either new hardware or just like we could have just wait. But here we are. Here's what we got. If it's the only way to play it, then sure. But like, it's not how I'm gonna keep playing Apex. I'm just gonna keep playing on PS4.
Yeah, like this is not gonna be like, oh my god, I'm done with Apex. Like, nah, nigga. Like it's just like it's a port that I'm just not gonna play. That's all. Like, I mean, I can live with that. Like, I like Apex. I'm not gonna play the Switch version. If you have the Switch version though, if you want to play with us, then if you are okay with your controls and stuff like that, you master your controls on your Switch, then cool. Join me and join another nigga who's probably playing on the PC and is probably playing on the PS4, and let's start killing niggas. That's all I got to say about that.
Yeah, and this is something that I could comment on now that I am a PS4 owner for like 5 months now. Yeah, like I noticed that Switch games you require a lot less memory than like PS4 games or PC games, like a lot less, which means that to make a Switch version of Apex, like you're gonna have to do a lot of downscaling to accommodate the hardware necessities. Because keep in mind, like do you know, like even if I didn't own my own copy of Apex for both PC and PS4, how many times have I seen you stream Apex Legends, but you're not really playing Apex Legends? You're just waiting for like an hour just for them to do an update.
Bro, don't get me started with that. Don't get me started with that. Anyway.
And yes, because I got Apex on PC around season 7, I had a lot of updating to go through for the PC. Now imagine going through what is it, season 8 or season 9 now?
8.
So imagine doing 8 seasons worth of updates for the Switch.
Oh Jesus, no. Hold up, let me at least get to the other part. So today, the time of this recording, which is Monday, March the 15th, I have taken my first dosage of the COVID vaccine.
Hurrah.
I got Moderna. I took the Moderna vaccine. They gave me the Moderna one. If for future listeners who want to know what the hell is going on, so like for you would-be warriors that are gonna be listening to this episode 5 years from now or wonder what the hell is going on, we effed up as a country because Lord Zed, Larry the Lobster looking ass nigga, take a virus seriously. And because of that, the entire United States got infected with a deadly with a freaking virus called COVID-19. And instead of all of us uniting as one like that movie Contagion, Americans freaking went backcrap crazy, decide to throw a bunch of big ass parties after the entire government said stay your ass at home, and you have a whole bunch of people in Florida saying if I get corona I'm gonna be okay, bro. We planned a spring break trip, bro. We're gonna be okay, bro. And yeah, let's talk about more loot boxes. And no, not on EA. So Pokemon Go. We all play Pokemon Go, Team Mystic. Yeah, I'm Team Mystic, fools. And we all know about the eggs, you know, the eggs that hatch and stuff like that. You buy some stuff like that. That's essentially you buy it, you hatch it, you're gonna get a random Pokemon, whether it's a shiny or a regular or anything like that. So apparently Kotaku doesn't believe those are loot boxes. They believe it's a fun present. I'm gonna read. Yeah, now granted, none of us over here like freaking Kotaku. Chica, do you like reading Kotaku?
No.
Thank you.
So Kotaku likes chocolate eggs.
So Kotaku, probably, would you argue saying that Kotaku is probably one of the most extreme liberal, like freaking far left sites? I'm asking Kabuto because Kabuto and I are uncancelable. Go ahead.
Okay, isn't Kotaku the reason Gamergate even started?
Whew. I'm not gonna say yes or no to that allegation because I honestly don't know. So
because wasn't it a Kotaku writer who was caught, you know, like sleeping with Zoe Quinn and then giving her game a good review, thus resulting in a protest against against academically dishonest journalism, but was misconstrued as, you know, as an attack troll effort against female gamers, even though it has nothing to do with one or the other. Yeah, Kotaku, you're not exactly, what's the word I'm looking for, a reputable source?
No, not at all. And didn't they say that they made Barrett racist in Final Fantasy VII? I remember we covered that too. Me and GC were like, because they're talking about how like his voice, it just makes everyone sound so fragile and stuff like that, and it's like he just spews hyper masculine toxicity. Or
bitch, I got a gun for a head.
Yeah, like they talked about, Ala, why are you keeping your hands up?
He's backing away. Yeah, exactly. He wants to keep his hands clean.
Barrett is what's wrong with the gaming industry, or like because he spews toxic masculinity in the Final Fantasy VII remake. I'm like, go screw yourselves. Like y'all just don't like when he's black. I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. Yeah. Come at me, Kotaku. Anyways, Kotaku said this. Pokemon Go Pokemon Go developer Niantic or whatever. Niantic is testing a feature that lets players see what might be inside the game's eggs before they walk the many miles to hatch them. It appears this is a response to the argument that the game's eggs are akin to loot boxes. There is an awful lot that could be better about Pokemon Go, but I would argue that demanding its eggs to be held on the same standards as the most cynical and cruel of EA and Activision loot box behavior really isn't necessary. Loot boxes in general, I'm just
walking 10 kilometers is cruel now. I see how it is. Loot boxes
in general are exploitative tools used by developers and publishers to get players to spend more money, blah blah blah. They're pretty much just talking about that. But then here, when you go further, as I said at the start, there's so much to criticize about Pogo and the actions of the developers, Niantic. Nothing makes me angrier in the game than watching a legendary Pokemon mysteriously escape from the multiple excellent spin throw ultra balls after guzzling a dozen golden raspberries. Interesting choice of words.
That's not a loot box mechanic though. Is it BS? Sure, but raid battles is not a loot box like mechanic though.
Exactly. Let me finish up. Using a player's remote raid passes to do garbage like that is gross and doubly. So when it makes my excited little boy burst into tears. But rather than seeing the game's eggs as loot boxes, I see them as just another way of getting fun surprises in the game. I'm gonna read that one more time because I want like a Kabuto when I read this. I'm gonna read it one more time. But rather than seeing the game's eggs as loot boxes, by the way, he also did a typo. He says at loot boxes, as loot boxes. I see them as just another way of getting fun surprises in the game, and you're provided with an infinite incubator to receive them.
Now imagine if EA said that shit.
See, here's the difference between the eggs from Pokemon versus loot boxes in other games. And yes, it may sound weird that I'm making comparisons to chocolate eggs, and the one time where you actually have eggs, I'm not making that comparison. Here's the thing, though. You're not microtransacting to get more eggs. You're microtransacting to get more incubators, which again is based on your discretion. You still have one incubator that you can use indefinitely, and you sometimes get additional incubators when you level up your profile, which you have to do by doing lots of walking and catching Pokemon and training and all that stuff. But the point is, you don't have to use those extra incubators. And and here's the thing. If you go to Cerebeat.net like everyone else does, you know which Pokemon are available at 2 kilometers, which ones are available at 5, 7, 10, and most recently 12 kilometers. And yes, the rarity of the Pokemon does match the like how the distance of the egg they come from, and they do rotate like which Pokemon are capable of coming out of those eggs. But guess what? Like the only surprise you get from this is what kind of egg you get when you spin the Pokestop to get your egg. Because it could be 2, 5, 7, or no, not 7, 2, 5, or 10 kilometer egg, or but and then it's a surprise of like what from this list of egg tiers. Egg tiers that Pokemon will come from. So, yeah, maybe you might need to get a lot of 2 kilometer eggs to get a specific Pokemon, or a lot of 10 kilometer eggs to get a specific Pokemon, but you know which kilometer eggs to conserve on. And also there's the thing of being smart with how you use your incubators when you have a bunch of incubators. Like, for example, like the expandable ones, you get up to 3 uses for them before you lose them. So you could be the smart person by using them on the long. The only way to hatch your eggs, the only real way to hatch your eggs is by walking distance, getting some exercise, and it's not that hard to get 50 kilometers a week. So you could get anywhere between 25 eggs hatched to freaking 5 eggs hatched, depending on the egg tier.
All right, real quick. I want to give a big shout out to Joe Merrick on Twitter for actually saying this. And by the way, if you guys want to know who the writer is, it's John Walker from Kotaku. But I'm exposing them. At Joe Merrick says, there's a problem here, I'm afraid. A, just because you have a fun free incubator doesn't mean it's not a loot box. Gacha games often give free pulls. B, many Pokemon are exclusive to eggs, and the shiny variants act as an incentive. And C, egg Pokemon do have an advantage over wild. Content of eggs are random, and the incubators can provide a paid key in order to accelerate it. This does not fall into main definitions of loot boxes, especially as they tend to be in the top 33%. No, this does fall into main definitions of loot boxes, especially as they tend to be in the top 33% stat-wise guaranteed, and many are exclusive. Back in July of last year, they implemented the Dragon Week event, which I actually do remember because I actually did do that, with the shiny Dino as the chase. They have
Dino.
whatever. They were so rare, and people were pumping so much money into it in order to try and hatch Dino, let alone a shiny one. How is that not akin to loot boxes? And Kabuto, I remember you were doing that during the summer last year as well.
Yeah, and I've been saving up my incubators from leveling up.
So John Walker, I mean, look, I'm not even gonna say what I'm about to say. I'm gonna say this real quick, bro. Loot boxes are loot boxes. These are loot boxes.
No,
yeah, you can.
It's microtransaction. Just because you use a microtransaction doesn't mean that it's necessarily a loot box, though. And I'm not trying to do the whole Kinder Egg thing. Like, I'm just saying that, like, you could still use the one. You could still use the one infinite incubator and just do a lot more walking. I don't think exercise ever killed anyone. And also what that person said about Pokemon being exclusive to only eggs is factually wrong, because they actually rotate Pokemon in their availability between wild and egg. So like there hasn't been a single Pokemon I've seen yet that is in eggs right now that hasn't been in the wild yet. Heck, even the Pokemon Dino, like you used to be able to get them in level 1 raids, which by the way is the easiest of the 5 raids. And like, you know, you don't even have to like power up your Pokemon that much. Like it's very easy. But the thing is, so like, yeah, sometimes hatching them in eggs is an easier method of getting certain Pokemon than, you know, trying to find than waiting for them to end up in the raid roster and then trying to find the raid location. But still, some of the things that this person said are not factually true, because you know there are Pokemon, because almost all the Pokemon that have been available as eggs have also been available either in raids or in the wild. Rare, like legendary Pokemon, have never been in eggs. You can only get them through raids or doing special quests. Like, remember, like I asked you to help me out with certain quests?
Yes, I remember. Yeah.
Quests don't require microtransactions, by the way.
Yep, I remember that too.
And even if you do want to do a raid, guess what? You don't necessarily have to do microtransactions to do a raid, because one, you get 1 free raid pass a day. 2, every week you get 3 free remote raid passes a week. So like you don't have any so you don't really have that much of an excuse to have to buy a raid pass as a microtransaction. And also, like, if you put your and also the currency you use for microtransacting, you could farm them by like putting your Pokemon in gyms. You know, like you just gotta know how to use the maximum of like the mechanics of the game to the best of your ability. Yes, are there microtransactions? Sure. Do certain mechanics require, you know, statistics? Yes, but same thing applies in playing the regular Pokemon. It's like saying, oh, catching a legendary Pokemon with a Pokeball in the original game is a loot box mechanic, because you don't know if you're gonna guarantee getting that Pokemon to like get captured in the Pokeball in the main games. What's it called? And yeah, like sure, and yeah, like using microtransactions is a prerogative of the individual user. And yes, and also I have checked the thing. You do need to enter your password each time you do a microtransaction. It's not like other games where you could just click one and done for a microtransaction. For what's it called, like for example Legacy Wars, for example. No, in the Pokemon you actually have to put in your Google Play password every time you actually do microtransaction for Pokemon. So for kids, it's a lot harder to get microtransaction in Pokemon Go than it is in Legacy Wars or Clash of Clans.
I'm gonna take that as your opinion. I'm gonna take that as your thoughts on that. Allo, thoughts? Go ahead, dude.
I know, it's really rare.
Shots Kotaku. John Walker, go sit down. Anyways,